to Desmond. Through the animus, he discovered his heritage, explored the lives of his ancestors, and uncovered their secrets. When that was done, he trained. He used another ancestor to provide decades of experience in the span of a few days.
Let the darkness take control.
Used to be when people talked about the end of the world, we locked them up, or laughed them off. Sometimes both. But we never took them seriously. Maybe we should have. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Better to start at the beginning, with the abduction of Desmond Miles, my son. This boy had no ambition, no direction, no plans for the future. What he did have was a heritage, one he chose to deny. It nearly cost him his life. He was captured and imprisoned. Those who took him believed he could help them find something. The apple. One of several artifacts we call pieces of Eden. Bits of ancient technology scattered across the globe. Some hidden, some found, all of them dangerous. Most are held by a single group, the same group that now had Desmond. You know them as Abstergo Industries. We know them as the Templars. As the enemy. We've been fighting them for thousands of years. Even longer if you believe the stories of their origins. I do. After all, I've seen the truth. That's the beauty and the horror of the animus. A device that allows us to enter and experience the lives of our ancestors. It holds the power to change everything, to show us history the way it really happened. Up until its creation, to the victor went the spoils, went the truth. We're trying to fix that, to free minds and bodies both. But there's only so much that we can do, and the Templars have the upper hand these days. But something larger than the assassins and Templars is approaching, bigger than all of us. And if we can't find a way to stop it, these next few weeks will probably be our last. Everyone's last. In the end, it all comes down to him. To Desmond. Through the animus, he discovered his heritage, explored the lives of his ancestors, and uncovered their secrets. When that was done, he trained. He used another ancestor to provide decades of experience in the span of a few days. It worked. We think. We hope. Soon we'll know. That ominous date fast approaches, December 21st, 2012. None of us knows what it'll bring, only that this is where they want us to be. When it does. They've been guiding us in their own fractured, frustrating way. These voices from the first civilization, the ones who came before, a precursor race of immense power and uncertain motives. They're the ones who made the pieces of Eden. This is where they've led him, and through him, us. He stands at the entrance to this long-lost place, armed with the knowledge of Altair and the abilities of Ezio. He holds in his hands the apple of Eden, and we stand at his side, ready to support him however we can. His name is Desmond Miles, and he has brought us to the end. we're here. Let's go.
I think we're here.
The key. You must find the key.
Son?
Sir. Here we go again.
Desmond?
Do you hear us?
Yeah. What happened?
The temple triggered a bleeding effect. You collapsed and entered into a fugue state.
So naturally, you dropped me into the Animus instead of, I don't know, making sure I was okay?
You weren't in any danger. Besides, the temple appeared to be communicating with you, and I didn't want to risk severing the connection. At least not until we knew what it wanted.
Right. Of course.
Son,
No, it's fine. I get it. And I know what I'm looking for, by the way. It's a key. Just no idea where it is, though. Guess that's why she triggered the bleeding effect.
She?
Juno, Dad. She's talking to me.
Okay, Desmond. We picked up a software update for the Animus. I'd like to run a couple of quick tests, make sure there aren't any major issues.
All right. What do you need me to do?
We'll start simple. Walk to the marker over there. Okay, Desmond. Let's practice climbing on these objects. That's a constraint. These are optional objectives that raise your synchronization rate. All right, Desmond. Follow the on-screen instructions and kill the 2 Templars. All you have to do here is jump the gap. Synchronization levels look good now. We should be able to build the world. Time to find out what the temple wants from you.
Sir. Everything all right, sir?
Yes, fine. I'm just preoccupied, that's all.
Don't forget your invitation. Master Birch will be meeting you inside.
Thank you.
Where shall I retrieve you once you're done?
Front of the Opera House. And be quick about it. Don't expect to be here long.
I'll bring her round at once.
Invitation, please. Shall I take your coat, sir?
Ladies and gentlemen, you are requested to kindly find your seats.
Good evening, sir. This way, please.
My apologies.
Evening, Hatham.
Reginald?
I can't tell you how happy I was to hear they'd mounted this revival. Gay's best work by far. Have you seen it before?
Once, my father brought me here as a child. Though I remember little of it. I don't suppose tonight will afford me the luxury of a proper viewing either.
No, I'm afraid it won't. On to business then. Do you see him?
So is mine. Like me too, he acts in a double capacity, both against roads and for them. For 'tis but fitting that we should protect and encourage cheats, since we live by 'em.
Sir, Black Mall had set word of trial comes on in the afternoon, and she hopes you will order matters so as to bring her off.
As the wench is very active and industrious, you may satisfy her that I'll soften the evidence.
Tom Gagg, sir, is found guilty.
A lazy dog! When I took him the time before, I told him what would come to if he did not mend his hand. This is death without reprieve. I may mention a booking. For Tom Gagg, £40. Let Betty Sly know I'll save her from the transportation.
He's seated in one of the boxes above.
The stairs are watched. You'll need to find another way up.
And in truth, 'tis a pity to lose so good a customer.
I already have.
The gang take her off. She may, in the common course of business, live her 12 months longer. I love to let women escape. A good sportsman always lets the end partridges fly, because the breed of the game depends on them. Besides, here the law allows us no reward. There's nothing to be got by the death of women, except our wives.
Without dispute, she is a fine woman.
1,000 pardons.
Because to her I was obliged for my...
My apologies.
And
So
to
sorry.
say a bold word, she hath trained up more young fellows to the business than the gaming table.
Truly, Filch, thy observation is right. We and the surgeons are more beholden to women than all the professions besides.
Sir, Black Mall had set word of trial comes on in the afternoon, and she hopes you will order matters so as to bring her off.
As the wench is very active and industrious, you may satisfy her that I'll soften the evidence.
Tom Gagg, sir, is found guilty.
A lazy dog! When I took him the time before, I told him what would come to if he did not mend his hand. This is death without reprieve. I may mention a booking. For Tom Gag, £40. Let Betty Sly know I'll save her from the transportation. I can get more by her staying in.
Betty has brought more goods into our lots here than any five of the gang. And in truth, it is a pity to lose so good a customer.
If none of the gang take her off, she may, in the common course of business, live at 12 months longer. I love to let women escape. A good sportsman always thinks the end of his life is the breed the gang depends on. Besides, here the law allows us no reward. There's nothing to be got by the death of women, except our wives.
Without dispute, she is a fine woman. 'Twas to her I was obliged for my education. And to say a bold word, she hath trained up more young fellows.
Ropes causing fear. What do you pay? What do they pay you? Hot water enough. When you're on the sea, always be quick.
But make haste and Newgate, boy, and let me friends know what I intend. Well, I love to make them easy one way or other.
When a gentleman is not penitence may break his spirit ever after. Besides, certainty gives a man a good air upon his trial, and makes him risk another without fear or scruple. But all the way, it is a pleasure to be the messenger of comfort to ladies in affliction.
But 'tis now high time to look about me for a decent execution against next sessions. I ain't a lazy rogue by whom one can get nothing till he's hanged. A register of the gang. Crook-fingered Jack. A year and a half in the service. Let me see how much the stock owes to his interest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gold watches and 7 silver ones. A mighty clean-handed fellow. 16 snuff boxes, 5 of them true gold, 6 dozen of handkerchiefs, 4 silver hilts, half a dozen of shirts, 3 tie periwigs, and a piece of broadcloth. Considering these are only the fruits of his leisure hours, I don't know a prettier fellow. But no man alive hath a more engaging presence of mind upon the road. Wat Dreary, alias Brown Will, an irregular dog, who has an underhanded way of disposing of his goods.
Haytham. You should have come to me. We would have found another way.
Yes. But then you would have known. For what it's worth, I'm sorry.
As am I.
And her face
Come, please!
Over there! Back the one that... That man there! Seize him!
A man was killed in the upper balcony, but I
I've done no wrong. I swear it. Search. Any weapons?
I beg your pardon.
They find security suspicious.
Don't push it,
No, we
please.
did it!
Let us through.
We can.
Let us out! Killed up there!
Order! We must have order!
Certainly. Try to remember.
Order! We must have order!
There was a key in such rubbish.
Order! We must have order!
But you and I know better.
Order! We must have
It happened
order!
right in that balcony.
Order!
What are
we must
those men
have
doing
order!
in there?
We must leave at once.
Imbecile!
Where are you going?
I guess Rasa was working there for many years. He has a very good business.
Shovel! Just right.
And how was the opera?
Rather dull, truth be told.
Shall we be off then?
Aye. To Fleet and Bride.